Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
I had to wake up a little bit. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh, I gotta get going. I get all excited. Get you guys started. We gotta get this party started tonight. But before we get this party started, I have to say, in PE, you rock my world. Thank you. Thank you for rocking my world. It's awesome. I'm looking for a clicker. There it is. Rock my world. I can't believe I'm standing up here tonight. It's been an unbelievable journey, and I am so honored to stand up here on this stage tonight and share it with these guys up here and all the people that spoke earlier today. I mean, these are really big people in our industry. They are doing it. They are killing it with their businesses. And you see, I'm not quite where they are yet. But now, I guess I realize what it takes to get there, okay? I realize what it takes to get there, the business, the systems, and the structure that you have to put in place in order to get where they are at. Now, for those of you sitting up here, like especially front row VIP, you might think of my story and go, oh, that first year with MPE, I remember the crazy. But I'm really here to talk to you guys in the back row, really, because maybe you're hearing some stories up here, and there's a lot of amazing stories all weekend long of people grossing 500,000, dropping $1 million. Jeff T, you are a rock star. I mean, these are huge numbers, right? And maybe they feel big, like maybe you can't wrap your mind around it. And I couldn't either a year ago. I couldn't either hearing Tony Maslin talking about closing out an almost $500,000 a year. It felt really big to me then, but now I get it. Now I see the systems and structures that you have to put in place in order to make that happen, and that's what I've done this year. That's what I've done, and that's the story that I'm here to share with you tonight. It's time to show up for my life. I literally went from zero to a real business in less than 10 months, and that's the stuff I want to talk to you guys about tonight. Now, I seriously started with no skills, and we're going to get into that. I mean, no knowledge, nothing. I owe it all to NPE. You guys rock my world. You rock my world. I did have one thing, though, if you can't tell yet. A real raw desire and passion to do it. The energy that I have, there was no looking back once I kind of already jumped down the rabbit hole. It was like, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. And sometimes I think that definitely has carried me through. But first I want to get a little bit of just a background about me so you can kind of know where I'm coming from. I moved out to California at the ripe age of 18 with no really particular reason. I had hardly any focus or direction in my 20s. I had a lot of fun, but I had no focus or direction, and by the time I got to 3.0, my name is not Vaughn. I didn't have it together. My name is not Ben Davis, Mr. 26-year-old killing it over there with, that wasn't me at 30. At 30, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? What am I doing? When am I gonna step up to my life and show up? Okay, and that's what happened, and I came up with a couple of conclusions. One, even though I thought I was really unfocused in my 20s, which I was, apparently I liked fitness. I did a whole bunch of certifications, got my degree. Fitness was my thing. And two, I came up with the conclusion that I have absolutely got to get out of my head and my skin. I've got to start giving back. I've got to start giving back because I feel like that's the way I need to live my life, okay? And because I happen to do fitness and I happen to be into fitness, that's going to be the medium in which it is going to happen for me, okay? There were a couple of problems here. The business models I found in my 20s didn't really make me any money when it came to fitness. I don't like not having money. This whole not having money crap, it doesn't work for me. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. Welcome to my 20s. I'm done, okay? And the other thing I can say about that is it really led me to having a really bad attitude, because I worked in clubs and I worked in gyms and I did have a really bad attitude. And in fact, it was so bad that it led me to finally start my own boot camp. And that's what I did. The summer of '08, I got out there and I'm like, ugh, bring it. I'm going to do this. Forget you. Bye-bye, club. And that's exactly what I did. And guess what happened? Hello. That would, oh, can you see? Bummer. It's me at my favorite boot camp location at 6 o'clock in the morning all by myself. There's no other camper, it's just me. And that's essentially what happened. On a good day, I'd have three people. On the typical day, it would be that. It was a great boost to the ego. You could, or actually, humbling of the ego, which I need sometimes. So I was really hungry back then. I I'm reading everything. I mean, Sean's making fun about he doesn't want to walk into your house with a library. Come over. I got a lot of books. I can't stop reading. It's all I'm doing. Back and forth and back and forth. Hit the wrong button. Let's see if we can get this going. I'm eating this stuff up, eating it. I can't get enough of it. In fact, so much so that I'm willing to get anything, and that's exactly what I did. I spent a whole lot of money, stupid amounts of money, on things that, well, let's say they were less than reputable, and the best I can say about some of this marketing stuff that I had, by the way, not from NPE, the best I can say is that it did one thing for me, and it gave me one thing, and I kind of gave it away. I'll show you right here. This is what it gave me. You see it, my little fish? It gave me a fish. Do you get it? Give a man a fish to eat, he'll eat. Teach him how to fish. Hello. Okay, good. You guys are with me. I got a fish, and that's what I did. And I ate that fish all summer long. In fact, here's me eating some fish. I'm out there timing my boot campers. I know what I'm doing. And I got a couple of fish that summer, and it was a lot of fun. But guess what happened at the end of the summer after I ate all that fish and spent stupid money on one fish? Guess what happened? I got hungry. I ate the fish, it's gone. I don't know what to do anymore. In fact, I was actually worse off by this summer of '09 than I was, because now not only do I have zero systems in place, I have no technology. Half the people were coming for free, and the other half weren't paying me crap. So I paid all that money to my trainers. My credit cards were totally jacked up because I paid stupid money for something that just gave me a fish, okay? Promise it wasn't with NPE. So I have no business. I have absolutely no business, and here I am again, outside by myself with nothing. Okay, this is the time when I got an email. This is the end of summer of '09 last year. I get an email from my webmaster, and it says, hey, cool, NPE, check them out, mega training, little link. Click on the link. I click on the link. Enter NPE into my life. Except if this guy was with NPE, he would have 500 fishing poles, not one fishing pole, and they would all be systemized, and somebody would be delegating those fishing poles over there, and he would have a little check. I'm guessing he's not with NPE. But you get my analogy, you get my point. I finally discovered NPE. I read everything that they had. I downloaded every single free report. I couldn't get enough. I got it. I saw it. I desperately wanted to be at Mega Training last year, '09. But I'm telling you, I had no room. I couldn't even put $200 on for a plane ticket to come out here, much less afford the event, okay? So I did the next best thing, and that's what Sean was telling you about. I ended up at one of my favorite coffee shops. This is an actual picture of it. It's Borders on Santana Row. They have a great balcony, great cappuccino, and this is where I was exactly a year ago tonight, sitting, watching this live, and I was inspired. I got to hear Mike Stairs, I got to hear Jeff T, I got to hear Dave Fannin, who's like my biggest cheerleader, love Dave Fannin. And Tony Maslin said something, and I met you that night, but you didn't meet me, that really affected me and inspired me. And whoa, wait. Let me get to the next slide, hold on. I mean, I'm just gonna repeat it verbatim because it was really, it meant so much to me. And it said, if I've seen farther, it's only by standing on the shoulders of giants. I am where I am today because I've had the opportunity to work with people that are way ahead of me in their game. I got it. I figured it out. It wasn't like a light bulb went off. It was like lightning flashed me in the head. If I ever think I'm going to grow or get out of my little box that I'm sitting in, I have got to get in front of other people who are doing better things than I am doing. Success breeds success, and I need to be a part of it. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do it. And then the next thing he said is, I hope I motivated you today. I hope I've given you some tools that you can use. This is exactly what you said, by the way. I just quoted you. And you can use this, and you can be up here next year. You can be up here next year. Careful when you set intentions, because it's a trip. It totally happens. It's a trip. Intentions are amazing. So at that moment, I've seriously been drinking rocket fuel since then. And that's exactly what happened, except it took me like a month to get into VIP because, sometimes they have waiting lists. So I get into VIP the very end of November, and by the first call with Camellia, by January 4th, this is the exact notes from what I did. This is what I did. If anybody has gone through any of these programs, it's not like read a chapter, go to the next one. Read a chapter, go to, this is like an MBA in fitness business. It was insane. I was getting up at 4:30 or 5 in the morning to get my homework done because Camellia says on the phone, all right, you can get through Duplicator 1 through 4, and you can get through Commander 2, 3, 4. I'd like for you to get through 1 through 5 of the boot camp module, and you can do all this by Tuesday, right? Yeah, bring it on. But I did it. I guess that's what it took for me. It took somebody amazing helping me and showing me the way and proving to me that I could do it, because I could. I just didn't fully believe it. So anyhow, this is what happened. And it was, and I was running my first event. At the same time, I'm learning all of this. Warp speed, guys. And my first event, because remember, I had no money, how am I going to do it? I spoke about it yesterday, which was the Your Best Body Challenge. And so how do you run a challenge, or how do you market without any money? Well, there's a picture of all the people. This isn't even all the people. There were 2 different camps. I had over 135 campers showing up. I grew my list from 300 to 600. I mean, it was incredible. We talked about this yesterday. Almost 17,000 in revenue with the ROI. I don't even know what an ROI was last year. It was awesome. It was awesome. How did I do it? I cross-referenced. I cross-promoted all of my services. Now, it was amazing. Remember, I just met NPE. I just met NPE, okay? I get these emails, I want to say it was December. It could have been January. I just signed up, and there are emails from Eric talking about this amazing thing, push-ups for charity. Remember, I want to give back. I've got to get out of my head. And he's sitting here talking about the Go-Giver and how this, and I'm like, dude, I've read the Go-Giver. I know all this. I've already read so many things. And his words are resonating with me. And I'm just like, I can't believe, this is amazing. I've always wanted to put a charity event on in my head, but I don't know how. NPE gave me the know-how to do so. And when it was all said and done, after my push-ups for charity, these are all the people that did the push-ups. There were about twice as many people there. We raised over $7,000 when you combine everything we raised for all the challenges we ran this year, including our push-ups for charity, for my first year. This was a really huge, huge deal for me. I'm so happy with that, but a lot of people want to know about revenue. So let's get off of charity and start talking about revenue. If you look at the bottom down there, that's 2009, but really I don't know what 2009 was because I had no concept of how to take care of my finances. I had to go look at my tax return, divide that number by 12 to actually get a number. I didn't take care of my personal finances, my professional finances, and I have a feeling I'm not the only one in the room that's like this. But if you look at what happened, look at these numbers. Yeah, I bet. Look at what happened. I'm like, this was crazy. It was unbelievable what happened to me this year. Unbelievable. And if you look at the little dip that happened in May, June, and July, that's because I'm new at this. You know, I had a lot of stuff happen, and that's what happens when you're a brand new business owner. It's not always easy. I lost my best trainer in June. I lost my worst trainer in June. She tried to open up her own boot camp. That was funny. I had to fire my admin. I had a lot of things happening. And it was just, and I guess the reason I'm telling you this is there were a lot of challenges. There were a lot of challenges. I spend most days queasy. I've really, and I mean that, I've really stepped out of my box so much that I spent a lot of days queasy, this entire event notwithstanding. Here's some then and nows. Here you go. I mean, this is the stuff I have got going on. Complete business structures. I run a boot camp business, by the way. Did you guys know that? Outdoor boot camp business, Bay Area. This is That's why there's a number of campers out there. Here's some other ones. I had no technology. We already talked a little bit about my finances. It's because I've worked on that this year. I have to give monthly reports. And if I don't turn the monthly report in, guess what? I don't get to show up to the call. That's not cool. I'm going to be on that call. They have the system set up, so you can't help it. I'm a part of BNI in 2 chambers now, and I've taken my own professional growth to that level. I'm respected in the community with all these business owners now. It's incredible. I don't have one fishing pole. I have hundreds of fishing poles. It's absolutely phenomenal, the experiences that I've had this year, and I owe everything to NPE. Why do I share all of this with you guys? Why? Because I bet, you guys have just as much energy, just as much passion as I do. All of you guys sitting back there, I know you have it. You probably have more than I do. I'm guessing. You probably have more than I do. The difference is I just got off my butt and I took some action. That's it. That's it. I'm not Superwoman. Like I said, I get queasy. I'm very unorganized. This is not easy for me. There's nothing easy necessarily, except watching the numbers go up. That was pretty easy. I didn't have to do anything. Thanks, MPE. But, I'm not Superwoman. These are real feelings that I've had and real experiences that I've had. But the difference I think that I've gotten this year is NPE, the coaching, the camaraderie. I feel like I have an arsenal of people who believe in me sometimes more than I believe in myself. And that's how I feel about you, Camellia. Woo, I told myself I wasn't going to do that. All right. So if I've seen farther, it's because I do sit on the shoulders of giants. In PE, you are my giant. You are my giant. And thank you for creating giants that are out there that I also get to sit on their shoulders too, because that is why I am where I am today. And if you are out there in this audience and something resonated with you, okay, you need to be up here next year. Thank you.